Hi everybody, it's been a while since I've done one of these videos. I'm falling behind and everything. I look really pale tonight, I don't know why. Haven't got out in the sun much. Working my day job. It's getting a little crazy. So happy when I'll be taking my coaching full time and I'll have a little more time. I'll be able to schedule my time and have, be able to do videos at certain times of the day when the light's the best and when I feel the best. Anyway, happy Rosh Hashanah. Rosh Hashanah. um, yeah, it's the Feast of Horns. And I guess it's something to do with the ram that was caught in the thicket. Well, Abraham was sacrificing Isaac, and the angel said, "Stop and go over to the thicket." And there was a ram with its horns caught in the branches, and so Isaac was able to sacrifice the ram instead of Isaac. Abraham was able to sacrifice the ram instead of Isaac. I think I said that backwards. Anyway, so it's a big Jewish holiday, and I hear that Israel's going on lockdown again because Europe's gotten pretty bad with COVID-19, and yeah, it's kind of sad. Here in the U.S., it's just been we had no break. I think the second wave started before the first wave ended, but there's pockets where things are not too bad. So we're in the book of Exodus. Can't speak. This is chapter 1 and 2. So the story of Joseph is over. Joseph and all his brothers have died, but their children and grandchildren have been very, very fruitful. And the old Pharaoh, who liked Joseph and his family, died, and a new king steps up, and he doesn't know anything about Joseph. So I don't know how many generations this have passed from the one Pharaoh to this guy, but he says, well, I don't know anything about Joseph or his family, but he and his people do know that the Israelites have gotten out of hand. They just keep multiplying and multiplying, and they're afraid that they're going to take over Egypt. So the Pharaoh tells his officials that something has to be done to stop this. Well, yeah, they could ship them out, send them home. The famine's over. I'm surprised they didn't go home. The famine was over quite a while ago then. And what they do is they enslave the Israelis. And the new king orders the midwives. Now, it's kind of funny because in the Bible, in Exodus, it says it talks to 2 midwives. They even mention names. But if you got that many Israelites, I'm sure they had to have more midwives if they're having that many babies. But that's what the Bible has in there. And he calls them in, and he orders them to kill the male babies as they're born. Just tell the mother, oh, something went wrong, well, then their wives won't do it. So they get called in again and say, what's with all these baby boys? And they tell the Pharaoh that, well, Hebrew women are strong, they're healthy, and they're starting to give birth before the midwives can get there. So they know their baby boys are healthy, being born healthy. So they didn't get into too much trouble, but because they spun this really great story, and God is very happy with the midwives because He does reward the midwives and their families, with protection and all that. So the king now decides that, well, fine, then I'm just going to order my people to kill the baby boys of the Israelites, because he's terrified that the Israelites are going to take over, so are his officials. So in chapter 2 is the start of Moses. And this is kind of interesting because it starts out with a Levite man. Now remember, Levi and Simeon were almost cursed by Jacob because they killed people in revenge for their sister Dinah's rape. So, so it just says a Levite man marries a Levite woman, and they have a baby boy. But first, it doesn't. Now it doesn't do this in the Bible. It says have a baby boy, but later on you find out there's an older daughter. So, so they had at least one daughter, and then they had a baby boy, and the boy was born after this edict from the king. And so the mother hides the baby for 3 months while it's still really, really tiny. And at 3 months old, she realizes he's getting big, he's getting louder, it's going to be really hard to hide him. So she makes the famous basket out of, I didn't write down what that's called, out of the weeds, and puts pitch in the inside that makes it kind of waterproof, puts the baby inside, takes it to the river Nile, and pushes it into the water, out onto the river, not down into the water, but out into the river, into the reeds, and has her daughter keep an eye on the basket, because I think they knew that the Pharaoh's daughter and her entourage, whatever retinue, tends to come down to that area of the river to bathe. And well, the Pharaoh's daughter does come down, and she finds the baby. She hears a noise, and she finds the basket. She finds the baby. He's a cute baby. He's crying. She feels really bad, and she knows her father has ordered the death of baby boys, and she realizes that he has to be Hebrew. And so she's trying to comfort the baby, and she doesn't want to get rid of the baby. And the older sister is watching, and she comes down to the Pharaoh's daughter and says, I know a woman who is ready to nurse, and she can help with the baby. And the Pharaoh's daughter said, see, nobody's names, there are no names mentioned here. Tells the sister to go and get the woman. So of course she goes and gets her mom, the baby's mom, but the Pharaoh's daughter doesn't know this. So the mom comes, and the Pharaoh's daughter says, I will pay you to nurse the child and wean it and raise it the first couple of years. So, which is great because, the mom's getting paid and she still has her baby. And when the boy is older, probably like between 2 and 4 years old, and he's weaned and he's hopefully potty trained, he's brought to the Pharaoh's daughter, and she adopts him and names him Moses. Now Moses, people have there's all sorts of things like, oh, he's named Moses because it was found in the river, but scholars have pointed out that Moses was part of Egyptian names. It was like there was Tutmoses, and there were several other like kings and things like that, and even gods with Moses as part of the name. So it's an Egyptian name. And you get all that, and then there's like a paragraph or two with, well, Moses grows up, he knows he's a Hebrew, but he sees an Egyptian mistreating the Hebrews, and when he saw nobody's looking, he went and he killed the man and buried him. And then he sees 2 Hebrews fighting, and he says, you shouldn't fight. And they say, oh, are you going to kill us like you killed the other guy? And Moses realizes that, oh, he wasn't as careful as he thought. People saw what happened, and if the Pharaoh finds out they killed an Egyptian, it would be dead. So he leaves, and he goes to a place called Midian, and there's a priest there, and has daughters, and they were getting heckled, and when they took the flocks out for water, they were having trouble. So Moses stood up for them, made sure they had water for the flocks and stuff. The girls go back to their dad, and I can't remember what his name is. And Moses ends up marrying one of the daughters whose name was Zipporah, and they had a son named Gershom. Uh, and so it's these just a couple little paragraphs, and there are these huge movies about Moses, growing up in Pharaoh's palace and wearing, royal garbs and being mistaken for an Egyptian and blah, blah, blah. It's like, none of that's in the Bible anywhere. It's like, well, okay, somebody's had some pretty active imaginations. But anyway, the Pharaoh's daughter, the king died. It's kind of funny because they never call him Pharaoh. It's the king, the new king, but it's his daughter is the Pharaoh's daughter. So it's kind of funny how that's been worded. I don't know if that's because of translation issues or what. But he finally dies, and the Israelites are like, he really made sure the Israelites were being crushed with enslavement and stuff. So the Israelites have started to cry out to God for help, and God hears them. And that's how chapter 2 ends. So we are now into Moses, the story of Moses. And yeah, I was, when I was reading this, because I read it a long time ago. And then I was remembering the stories that was told in Sunday school and Bible camp, and the movies with Charlton Heston playing Moses, and all those great adventures and stuff. And it's like, the Bible just says this tiny little bit about the beginning of his life. It's like, holy cow. So, yeah, I hope it gets a little more interesting. It should, because we're going to go through the Red Sea, and all that sort of stuff is coming up. So, and Moses being reunited with his family, and we find out his sister's name. We will find out his sister's name, and I guess he has a brother, and we will find out his mother's name. But I just thought it was interesting how the book of Exodus starts out with a Levite man and a Levite woman. No, it was a son of the Levites and a Levite woman or something like that get married and have a kid, and they like no names. It's like, that is so odd. But I just was thinking this, like, Levi and Simeon were kind of sort of almost cursed by Jacob, because of what they did. And here's the son, one of the Levites, one of the children of Levi, kills somebody, buries him in the ground. Like, whoa. Kind of a little scary, actually. Well, I'd love to hear what you think about it. And thanks for watching. Please hit the like button. Hopefully I'll start getting some more people here and get some conversations going. That would be great. But bye for now.